Now in the black box with Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's
go! Listen,
Cheetah, gratitude is the attitude. Show is a blessing. To be back in the black box. Black box.
Relax, roll up as we randomly react to content in these YouTube streets.
Yeah.
It's time for R&R.
Like with Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my SPR, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
Constant, consistent, continuous content creation campaign continues. Today, we got some more boxing fresh off the 7 C's on the menu. I guess since we reacted to the Michael Spink story, this George Foreman story popped up in my algorithm. I'm not following the page, but y'all know how it works. And it's not a long story. It's a short story. It's not about his whole career. It's about before he came back and started being a George Foreman that eventually did the grills. Young George Foreman had retired for 10 years before he came back and fought Holyfield and all that. And this dude, Jimmy Young, is the reason why. So with no further ado, let's see what Jimmy and George have been up to.
In 1977, George Foreman walked into the ring to face Jimmy Young. To most fans, this was just another step in Foreman's comeback tour, a tune-up, a formality. Foreman was the monster of the heavyweight division, still young and dangerous. Jimmy Young was a slick, defensive fighter, known more for frustrating opponents than finishing them. Nobody expected this to be even close, but that night, something broke. Not just inside the ring, but inside George Foreman himself. The fight went the distance. Young didn't knock Foreman out. He didn't need to. He outboxed him. And in the final round, when Foreman hit the canvas, the moment was symbolic. It was the end of an era. The invincible George Foreman, who had once destroyed Joe Frazier and Ken Norton like they were amateurs, was done. And just like that, he walked away. For 10 years, George Foreman didn't throw a punch in a professional ring. This was the moment where the myth of George Foreman ended.
Talking about ring rust. You know what type of ring rust you can develop over 10 years? He was a beast for picking it back up and becoming champion again. I'm talking about, I know he had no jogging, running a part of his program in the second half. He had big belly. He used to stand flat foot, no bobbing, no weaving, just all hands on my mama.
And the man behind it was forced to face who he really was. Before his first loss, George Foreman was seen as unstoppable. This wasn't a boxer who outpointed you on the scorecards. He wasn't trying to impress the judges. He came to destroy anyone who dared to challenge him.
The heavyweight division is crafty because all the other divisions, the weight classes is all, you only supposed to fight somebody no more than 5, 10, I think 10 pounds is like a big weight difference. And that heavyweight, once you get over like, what is it, 180 or 175 or 200, the other dude will be 260, it don't matter. You heavyweight, get in there. That's crazy.
In 1973, the undefeated Joe Frazier stepped into the ring with Foreman. Frazier was the king of the heavyweight division. He was the champion, the man who beat Muhammad Ali. But what happened next didn't even feel real. Frazier didn't just lose, he got dismantled. Foreman dropped him 6 times in less than 2 rounds. It looked like a total mismatch. And if that wasn't enough, Foreman did the same to Ken Norton the very next year. Norton was the man who broke Ali's jaw and gave him hell in 3 fights.
Simple signs. You got the reach, you get behind your timing, and you catch him, and you got the win where you can catch him. I mean, that's the hardest thing to be, the skilled dude with the reach over you, bro. The hardest thing.
Foreman destroyed him in under 4 minutes. Before Muhammad Ali humbled him in Zaire, George Foreman was seen as something close to unbeatable. Not just a heavyweight champion, but an unstoppable juggernaut with terrifying knockout power. And when that kind of power walks into a boxing ring, the question isn't if you'll lose, it's how fast. Then came the rumble in the jungle. Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman, one of the most epic fights in boxing history. Foreman came in as the champion.
Yeah, I think this might be the biggest fight ever when you think about the story connected, the documentary that they made from back then. That's the only thing we've seen close to it is how Mayweather did all those pre-things before his fight in that other country and all that. I think it's the biggest fight in boxing ever. Ali Boumaye.
He was undefeated, younger, and stronger. Everyone expected Ali to get crushed. He was past his prime, they said. Too old, too slow. But Ali wasn't planning to trade punches. He had a strategy that made no sense until it worked. From the opening bell, he leaned on the ropes, covered up, and let Foreman swing. Round after round, Foreman threw everything he had.
I don't think that it was as calculated as they claim these days. I think Ali couldn't deal with what was coming his way, and he just weathering the storm, and in the process, Foreman gassed out. But I don't think it was all that calculated. Like, I'm finna get him tired, then I'm gonna go to work. I don't believe it. I don't.
Body shots, hooks, haymakers. But most of it landed on Ali's arms and elbows. Ali just sat there and absorbed it. And slowly, Foreman started to fade. Then came round 8. Ali saw the opening.
Because any one of them ones on that chin button at the right time could have been the one. Mama, you had to be as effective as you possibly could every step of the way. You can't just sit there and say, all right, get off on me. Nah. Well, he did end up very, very damaged in the head. Sheesh. It was taking some heavy blows, y'all.
He came off the ropes and fired a quick combination that sent Foreman crashing to the canvas. The seemingly unbeatable champion was knocked out. Just like that, the invincibility was gone. The myth was over. From that point on, Foreman was never quite the same. George Foreman didn't vanish after losing to Ali. He was bruised, sure, but he wasn't done, not yet. He still had the power, still had the name, and deep down, he wanted it all back. The title, the fear, the dominance. So, he went to work. Then came Ron Lyle. And that fight was pure madness. No finesse, no dancing, just raw violence. They traded knockdowns like it was a backyard brawl. But Foreman survived. He dug deep and stopped Lyle in one of the wildest heavyweight fights ever recorded. It wasn't clean, but it showed heart. It showed grit. Foreman was no longer the unstoppable monster from '73, but he was clawing his way back, trying to rebuild the legend, trying to prove that he still belonged at the top. In 1976, he stepped back into the ring with Joe Frazier. Foreman didn't waste time. He dropped Frazier, again, and stopped him in the 5th round. It wasn't as violent as their first fight, but the message was clear. Foreman still had it. The path to redemption had started, and Foreman was all in.
So Foreman had 2 comebacks. I'm thinking about the comeback with the bald head, the big belly. He came back still healthy and in shape.
In 1977, George Foreman stepped into the ring with Jimmy Young. On paper, this looked like a safe bet. Foreman was still a big name, still dangerous. Young, by contrast, was slick and defensive, smaller, not a power puncher. Most people expected Foreman to walk through him. But this wasn't the same George Foreman from 1973. This was a different man, carrying the weight of the Ali loss, the pressure of redemption, and a growing sense of doubt. And Jimmy Young didn't come just to survive. He came to fight. From the opening rounds, Young showed no fear. He stayed mobile, used the entire ring, slipped Foreman's punches, and fired back with sharp counters. Foreman did land some heavy shots, punches that would have ended most other fighters. But Young refused to fold. He kept popping Foreman with fast combinations, clean, calculated shots. He frustrated him, tired him out, made him look flat-footed and confused. Round after round, Young made Foreman miss, again and again and again. Then came the 12th round. Young landed a beautiful counter and dropped Foreman to the canvas. Foreman got up, but something was different. The fight was over, Jimmy Young won, and he earned it. With intelligence, speed, and sheer courage. In the locker room after the fight, Foreman collapsed. He later said he had a near-death experience.
You actually felt you were dying.
I saw death. I saw it.
And from that moment, he walked away from boxing. For more than a decade, he didn't fight. Not because he couldn't, but because something broke inside him that night.
He's young, he's handsome, they know it. He's
Land of the law.
a prophet,
2009
and many people believe he'll
mixtape
be the
money.
next heavyweight champion of the world.
Spot the low.
Boxing became part of my life.
Be about your money at all costs.
Undefeated, undeniable, demanding your undivided attention. I ain't even trying for this one. It's all good. Just check the tail of the tapes. Mixtape Mark Master, FBI the Rock. Give me that goddamn bill. SPI to the rider, drop a fighter like White Boy did. But Suge Knight a nigga like the knockout kid, Fist Fierce as Frazier. Ali Nice, from the streets to the pros like Kimbo Slice. The Golden Gloves got my license lit. Most my fights don't last as long as Tyson's took. Hook stare me down, trying to juke the jinx. Then fall in the first round and spook the Sphinx. Smash in the ring off bomb green grass. About my cash, I whoop Don King ass. Leave all opponents in my path destroyed. Jab strong as Jack Dempsey, as fast as Floyd. I'm like the real deal, holy shit. Every time I take flight, they like homie spit. Won't stop throwing blows once the war been waged. In a steel cage, I take George Foreman fade. I'm a SPI to the rider, drop a fighter like White Boy did. But Suge Knight a nigga like the knockout kid, Fist Fierce as Frazier. Ali Nice, from the streets to the pros like Kimbo Slice. The Golden Gloves got my license lit. Most my fights don't last as long as Tyson's took. Don't stare me down, trying to juke the jinx. Then fall in the first round and spook the Sphinx. Smash in the ring off bomb green grass. About my cash, I whoop Don King ass. Leave all opponents in my path destroyed. Jab strong as Jack Dempsey, as fast as Floyd. I'm like the real deal, holy shit. Every time I take flight, they like homie spit. Won't stop throwing blows once the war been waged. In a steel cage, I take George Foreman fade. I'm a young knockout kid. Aren't you that young knockout kid?
Uppercut, bent his neck back.
Aren't you that young knockout kid?
2009 mixtape
Aren't you that young knockout kid?
Get in the ring and beat his
Baby. Aren't you that young knockout kid? Aren't you that young knockout kid?
You know, I wasn't afraid to fail.
Aren't you that young knockout kid? Aren't you that young knockout kid?
I was talking to my thing, understand?
Undefeated, undisputed, no belt debate. From heavy to cruiser to welterweight. Treat the champ like a chump. Chew him up, make him lunch. I just got a hunch, he can't take a punch. On his funk, that's how I do punks. Break them off chunks in the blue trunks. No matter what class y'all take. 6 pounds of pressure make a glass jaw break. Press conference, the comments I make is cocky. You an actor, matter of fact, it's fake as Rocky. Swell him up, leave his face full of red cuts. Tryna bite me, can't take the headbutts or the elbows or the low.
In that hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake Show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch.
My nigga Spider Low.
Spider Loke, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What the fuck?
My nigga.
Spider Low.
Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, wake and bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke, on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nate Blood, C-Mac. Shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, huh? Nate Blood on Hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, quit.
Point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
You are now in the Black Box with Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka VJ Keyway, and the Google Gang.
Let's go!